guys, it's me. I'm back. I know. I think the last time I spoke to you guys, it had to be somewhere in, I want to say probably November. And yes, of course, in my life, a lot is going on. But I wanted to take the time, one, to say Happy New Year. I know we're about 50 something days into the new year, and I'm just telling you guys Happy New Year. But Happy New Year. And I hope and pray that you guys are having a much different year than you had last year this time. With the understanding, yes, we are still in COVID, and we're still trying to navigate this sort of lifestyle, as we put it. But I just wanted to take some time to stop in to, one, check in and see how everyone is doing, and let my subscribers know that I'm still glad that you're still with the sister, holding the sister down. And I thank you for any new members that have come aboard. And I want to take the time to say thank you guys for your support. I'm not one of those YouTubers who has thousands or even millions of followers. And that's okay. Granted, yes, I will hope my subscribers will grow. But for right now, we have a small group, and I say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time just to subscribe, just to hear what I have to say. So I thank you for that. I appreciate that. And if it's just one person that gets the message and decides to be willing to make a change in their life, then hey, my work is done. But I just wanted to drop in and see how you guys are doing and say thank you. And also, I would not be in this position basically without saying something about Black History Month. Granted, there's a lot to say when, there's 28 days in February and 29 if you get a leap year. But, for me, I look at Black History Month, being a woman of color, for me, is every day. Every day that I'm above ground and I wake up in this skin, as they say, the skin color, the shade, the melanin in my skin, I am Black History. A couple of weeks ago, I posted something on my pages in reference to just that, is that, if you're a person, an African American person of color, and you know what this looks like, what this feels like on a daily, because we walk around in it. And like I said, February, yeah, it's supposed to be Black History Month, and we're supposed to recognize and observe and pay homage to those that have come before us. And that is great. But if you're living within this world, then you have experienced what, as we say, Black history is. Be it good, be it bad. And some of us are, and still are going through. Granted, we're not in slavery anymore, per se. But we still have those mentalities that are still happening now. Anytime you have a discomfort because of the color that enters a room, or who has access to certain resources, or who has access to positions and just being in existence. When you walk around with melanin, as we say, or when you walk around Black, as we say, you get it. You get the feeling of not being included. You get the feeling of not having a voice. And then you also get the feeling of, yes, you may be in a diverse atmosphere, but however are you included? So when you hear diversity and inclusion, you want to understand what that actually means. If it says and, it means together. There's no diversity or inclusion. It's diversity and inclusion. And we need to recognize that. Is that when we are in a room and we have something to say, that we should be able to say what needs to be said. We should have a seat at the table. We should have a chair at the table. We should have everything that belongs in that room. And we should be able to express that as well. But the reality of it all is that between the biases and the stereotypes and, whether I should wear my hair a certain way or the clothes or where I live, you know, comes into play. That is our Black history. When you have, professional women of color who have gone the ranks and went through the blood, sweat, and tears of education, as well as the men, and they still do not want to recognize you for your accomplishments, or they don't want to adhere to your titles. That is Black history. When someone tells you the only time I'm going to call you doctor is if it's a MD behind the back of your name, when we have many PhDs that are out there that know we don't do the physical cutting and the tearing apart of things and to make things better, and but we do have a place in this field. We do have a place. We do have a voice. So whether it's a PhD or an MD, I believe that you should be acknowledged as such. But when you have others, the naysayers, the ones that cannot believe that you even, can even articulate a sentence or even, reference things that you're just surprising that some of us know, you want to leave us out. It's a disservice. It's a place of fear. Not for me, but for others. It's a place of fear. And the way I wear my hair and my clothing and all those other things shouldn't be a factor in if I'm getting the job done. And you have individuals that have suffered through that. You have individuals that are even looking to change careers because of certain things. I happen to be in a field where someone like me going into different communities is welcomed. Someone who's going to speak about affordable housing, somebody who's going to talk about law enforcement and community engagement, and someone that's going to speak about the mental health of our communities and all these other things that are actually tearing our communities apart. I am a representation of being able to at least show up. But I don't want to be used just because I am of color and I can just show up. I want to be included in a conversation to talk about these communities with everyone else. And don't assume because I am a woman of color that I may understand everything that goes on in the community. And like I said, the biases and those things, they do step in. And I want to challenge us to not just look at the month of February as Black History Month. I want us to represent ourselves. I want us to acknowledge our own selves as being Black history. I want us to understand that we are proud. We are proud people, and that many have fought, bled, and died just for us to be where we are. I want to challenge us to move forward. I want to challenge us to be able to level up in a playing field that no, it's not always balanced. It's not always equal. It's not always fair. But I want to challenge us to celebrate ourselves. Celebrate yourself, because of the fact that you have something to offer. You don't have to have a PhD or MD or any other credentials behind your name, but just know that you are welcomed and you are necessary to the whole entire process. Amongst my family and my friends, I am Danita. I am that, the one who likes to have a good time, who likes to laugh, who likes to, have a good time and just be around love and togetherness. That is me. That's what I enjoy doing. And I don't allow my credentials or my professionalism to hinder any of that. Because at the end of the day, when I go home, and right now working from home, and when I'm home in that place, in that space, I'm comfortable. Others are the ones that have the problem. I don't. I try to keep myself in an area where teachable moments and offers of grace can be extended, because ignorance is a paralysis. And when those teachable moments comes, I offer them. I have a conversation, and I let folks know that if they say something that's offensive, or if they've done something that's offensive, and I can say it in a way that does not cause a disruption. I'm in a position where I want to move from someone looking at me as an angry black woman if I want to bring upon a teachable moment. I want to change the narrative. And we should be challenged about changing the narrative. We should be challenged about not wanting to be called the N word or the B word or something like that, because I am neither. My name is Danita. It's not yo B, or no, that's not my name. And it's disrespectful that even if I am to call myself that, I have a mother. So no, I don't represent that. And that's me, in my opinion. What you do, that's what you do. But for me, and to pay homage to my parents, I'm not going to allow anyone to call me outside of the name that, was given to me. So again, I want to challenge us as we're winding down Black History Month. I'm looking to, and we know the history of those that came before us. We know the history of what they had to suffer through. But at this day and time, we want to be able to be Black History 365 plus one. And that one is that extra year that we get from time to time. So we are 365, 24/7. We can't change the color, the melanin in our skin. It is what it is. So we was born into this sort of area and this place and space, to navigate our way through. And yes, it has been difficult. It's been very difficult because you still have folks that do not want us to move any further than where we are. And it's sad. It's really sad to say. So I'm issuing the challenge. Show your Black history 365 plus one. Show your Black history proud 365 plus one. When there's any holiday or when there's not, just to be 365 plus one is an honor for me. Because I get to see the ones that are coming after me growing and raising the bar. My parents raised the bar for us. They told us, do better than me. That's the bar. Do better than me. And move forward. So when you're looking at trying to figure out what it is that you have to offer, just know you have a lot to offer. Your story. Can't nobody tell your backstory like you. And in some of our communities, we call that a testimony. Can't nobody tell it. So I'm not about to tell your story. It's not my story to tell. It's your story to tell about how you are making a difference, how you are accomplishing things, how our children, our youth are growing, and how we're paying attention more. We have a high rise, and I really don't think it's a high rise. I think now the cover has been taken off of mental health, self-care. You hear me say self-care all the time. And you'll know, because if you don't take care of yourself, it will show up. It will show up in places that you would not believe that it would show up. And I can attest to self-care because, mine's, my self-care, and you'll probably you'll hear about it later on as we move forward through this process. You will hear, how we can actually, take care of it, how we can mend it, how we can do different things to just try to get ourselves back on track. And I believe in being transparent. I believe in talking about those things. Mental health is one of those things, unfortunately, in our community that we don't want to discuss because we're looked upon as being strong all the time. And nothing phases us, and we can just push our way through and just get on the other side of it, and we're okay. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It takes a toll on you as an individual. It takes a toll on all those around you. And unless we are honest with ourselves about what we need to do about it, then it's going to continue. This is one of those situations where when you hear or see something, you have an obligation to say something to help that person along. And it's not getting into their business. It's not about what happens in our home stays in our home. Because who doesn't want to have a peace of mind? Who doesn't? Who wants to be able to be out and have a good time and laugh and know when they go home it's still going to be peaceful? Some folks don't understand it. Some folks don't know that. Some folks are just addicted to the chaos. They're addicted to the catastrophes of all of that. Why? When we have a choice to not. So, like I said, as I'm issuing this challenge for us to be Black History 365, just know that we are relevant. We are relevant. We are not the bad that everyone thinks that we are. That when they see it, it's just so much fear. That they want to, take our own, I don't even know what to call it, and just turn it around for them to say, oh, here comes another one. They're this and they're that. We're relevant. We have more of a story to tell than all this negative, stereotypical, stuff that's floating around out there. So, and I want to hear about it, guys. You can just send me a little message and just tell me, what your Black history is. What does your 365 plus 1 look like? How are you making the change? And you start where you are. At first that means taking care of home. If we take care of home first, us behind those walls, if we take care of that, then that will float over into the outside, into our communities. But it starts within us. Once we start doing that work within us, giving them something different to look at, other than what they think they know, what they think they see, it's going to be a major shift. We're not looking for, a hand up. We're not looking for to continually to be pressed down. We're looking for a leveled playing field. Because at the end of the day, when the good Lord looks down on us, we're all at the same level anyway. So, on that note, continue to enjoy the rest of this Black History Month. And look out for part 2 of this conversation. But until then, we're relevant. We're relevant, we're important, and we're beautiful people. Have a great day, guys.